Nah, I actually tell my students a lot. I never wanted to be a teacher. I remember growing up in Jersey and what sixth grade was like for me at Sacred Heart School in Valesburg, and what we did to our teachers. And I was like, nah, I could
Yeah.
never. But life has a funny way of silencing and humbling you a little bit. Over the past 10 years, I've been in a lot of different spaces, and all of them have involved working with people, but specifically working with young people. And, I've found, as much as I've tried to run away from it, that's where a lot of my life's purpose is. I've been very, very fortunate and blessed to have the administrative team over at Dunbar Middle to work with me and, put me in that kind of position to be able to work with kids in a way that I thought would help elevate them and prepare them for life after graduation, after 8th grade graduation.
Gotcha.
So, it's been a cool ride, just journeying and getting there, however much I was resistant to it.
Yeah. So do you feel like, because I was just thinking about this and talking with one of my employees yesterday, is I think sometimes in the early part of our life, like we're connected to our destiny, but it's through a different way because we don't know what we're supposed to do. Purpose,
Right.
like, for your purpose. How long did it take for you before you ran out of gas running from it?
Bruh, let me tell you something. When them bills come due, you will try anything. It's wild because my mom kept telling me, like, I see you being a teacher. Why don't you try teaching? I'm like, nah. I don't got the patience for it. I don't got the energy for it. And I was at a point professionally where I was doing a lot of things on the side. I was doing a lot of things in the community, and I was being very active. But in 10 years, so much has changed. I got 3 kids now. My wife and I are trying to build our legacy. And it was time to really like take a hard look in the mirror. Like, okay, what are you willing to do? Are you still willing to like let your ego stand in the way of what you thought you weren't going to be good at? Or do you want to take a shot? Do you want to take advantage of this and build your way up? Fortunately, like I said, I had a lot of exposure in the field, so it wasn't completely new to me. And it was really just a matter of just like believing in myself despite what I thought I wanted to do.
Yeah, and I like to touch on that too, because I think sometimes we have the passion in our hearts, right? Sometimes we have the God-given ability and talent, and I think you have subconscious conversations with yourself, like whether it be videography, like what I'm doing, or speaking or teaching. What is your advice to someone to get over that silent conversation and really take action to start digging? Whether that be, hey, I feel like I'm called to be a pastor, teacher. I have a passion for sports. Like, what is your message?
I think it's a lot of different things, because I don't think there's any one lane. I think it's many lanes in that highway. But I do think that a lot of it involves having honest conversations with yourself, because if there's a journey that you have to be on, you have to be really familiar with that terrain.
Yeah.
You got to be really familiar with that terrain. Some of us are bold enough, have enough bravado to just like jump into the wildness and be like, hey, whatever happens, happens.
Yep.
That doesn't necessarily work for everybody. So I think it starts with having a really honest conversation with self and understanding your own parameters, your own boundary lines. I know what I'm willing to do in the classroom to engage a student. I know what I'm willing to do in a workshop to engage with this team. I know where I'm trying to go. I know what I can do. And there's also that while it's not one lane, you still have that journey behind you. So you're kind of using what you have learned and what you have experienced. So it's not really gridlocked into the here and now. What did you see 5 exits back? What did you go through 2 interstates ago that prepared you for where you are now?
Exactly.
All of that can be used. And I use all of it. I've embarrassed myself talking about the ways I've messed up, talking to my 8th graders about, hey, yo, high school's coming. I've done enough going through it. So using all of that is like a lesson. And it doesn't have to be limited to teaching. It doesn't have to be limited to nonprofit work. It can expand in any kind of industry. It all works for a purpose.